We are joined now by Brad Edwards. Mr. Edwards is an attorney for more than 50 accusers and survivors of Jeffrey Epstein's sex ring. He is also the author of a book about the case. The book is called Relentless Pursuit. Mr. Edwards, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
We know that when Jeffrey Epstein was arrested last year, there were a number of survivors that came forward after that, a number of witnesses who came forward as well. Since Ghislaine Maxwell was arrested last week, have you talked to any other survivors or witnesses?
Yes, just in the last 5 days, we have received tips from several very important witnesses and at least one other victim that I expect is only going to help the case.
Obviously, without asking you to sacrifice the confidentiality of a client, can you characterize the claims that these witnesses and survivors have made?
Not beyond very helpful observations that they made many years ago that, like I said, it is only going to strengthen the case that's already been brought.
One of the things that struck me, I read the indictment last week when she was arrested. One of the things that's striking is that prosecutors have, for whatever reason, decided to really focus on 3 years. They've focused on that time period between 1994 and 1997. Any idea why they might be focusing on that period of time?
Sure. What everybody came to understand about the breadth of the operation is that there were hundreds of victims, and then you have to backtrack. How did that begin? And when you rewind time, you come to the 93, 94, 95, 96 years as the inception of what ultimately grew into this massive spider web of victims. And what was that genesis, and how did it come about? And this is what you're seeing in the indictment. That's kind of where the story began, so to speak.
I want to ask you about Prince Andrew for a moment here. Again, Virginia Giuffre claims that Prince Andrew had sex with her 3 times when she was 17. It's a claim that the prince has vehemently denied time and time again. But there are these flight logs that put them on the same flight, put Ghislaine Maxwell on the same flight with the 2 of them. What story do you think that Ghislaine Maxwell has to tell about Prince Andrew specifically, and do you think she is going to tell that story now?
No chance. They are very close friends. This isn't a casual relationship, and I don't think that Prince Andrew is going to say what he knows about Ghislaine, and I don't think Ghislaine's going to say what she knows about Prince Andrew. Now, I think that the fact that he has gone so long without providing any of the information that he has, and it's not only Virginia, we have several other clients who were in his presence and Mr. Epstein's presence, know him to be around, and he refuses to talk. It's not doing him any favors.
Brad Edwards. Brad, thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.